Welcome to Trial by Wine. We take a closer look at crimes that highlight how fascinating humans can be. Schmidty, Swanee and Clarkey visit crimes and run them through their jury of three, debating both sides of the case to agree an appropriate, if totally fictitious, sentence. Please be advised, Trial by Wine may include explicit or disturbing content and will include drunken rambling. Listener discretion is advised. All right, how are we?
Very well. Yes,
Not too bad.
very well.
Any news?
Any news? No, I don't think I do.
No news? No? Clarkey and I
news.
just
We
had
had
an
a lovely
argument off
weekend.
air.
I
Did you?
wouldn't say it was an argument, but
A
it was
discussion?
certainly a differing of opinions about
Yes.
should we talk about what it is or should we keep it
Sure.
off air?
No, I think it's fine. We were just talking about a campaign that's running against our Premier in Victoria at the moment, where Clarkey thinks it's appropriate, the language being used in it, and I said I don't
I'm
think
not
it was
saying, I'm saying I think she
a terrible
has
leader.
no right to take offence about something that is that minor when she's done such a bad job and affected so many people's lives negatively.
But I think we're all forgetting that this is the woman that when the media have asked her straight questions at various press release moments, she's decided to leave the room. So remember when the fires were at Alexandra earlier this year and someone asked her, or I think there was a bit of hostility from the local people, she booked out the back at the ambulance bay and got out there.
What do her own party think of her?
I think they're worrying about they're thinking about getting rid of her.
They should have changed her a year ago. They should have changed
But I think
it out
when
a year ago.
when she's put the state into debt, not just her alone, but certainly what
Not on
she's
her
done
own.
this year is absolute vote grabbing, splurging money that she shouldn't do.
The
And
machete
then
bins and things like that.
The free
Total
public
waste of money.
transport that only Victoria does when Victoria has a combined debt that is worse than New South Wales, Queensland, Tasmania combined.
I'm not saying she's a
And
good
then-
leader.
And then the
Very good
IBAC Commission that need more powers to investigate the corruption that has happened under her leadership. And she says, oh, yeah, we'll look at that after the election. And then she says, I'm outraged that somebody's called me a witch. Like, what?
My main thing, whether she's outraged that someone called her a witch or not, I just think her gender is irrelevant and using a gendered term isn't appropriate because
I didn't
because
like
it's not
it when it
about
happened to
Jacinta
Julia
Allen.
Gillard because
That's it.
Julia Gillard was a good leader.
It's not
Jacinta
about
Allen,
Jacinta Allen.
all
It's about
bets are
future
off.
females wanting to work in this space. And I think it's inappropriate for people to use gendered language in that way. One way,
I think
either
it's
way, by the
also
way,
fair
because
to say that when
you talked about bastards. Fair enough. Don't
Yeah,
use
yeah.
gendered language. Just stick to the
But
point.
when
She's
you-
a poor performer.
But she's worse than that. There's a lot of corruption going on. She's not sitting there going, I know, let's look into that straight away. She's going, let's do it after the election because I actually still want to get voted in again, even though I'm really shit at my job and I'm going to talk down all these bad things I do and then I'm going to complain because someone called me a name and it's not fair. I've got a good job. I'm a nice person.
I think she's pretty tough. So I would imagine that that's more around a good way to distract from things. But whoever has done that has allowed for this discussion, right? Who has created this whole thing about it being gendered, etc. When the point is her backlog of disaster. That's really what we should be focusing on in this campaign. Her record, not using nasty words against women. It's just a cheap shot, and it's just not clever. I'm sorry, it's not clever enough.
I would agree it's not clever, and it is definitely a cheap shot. I just think people who are in power need to be a little bit stronger.
Toughen up.
Than
Yeah,
that.
you got to
I
take.
think
What does a colleague of mine used to say? Take a shot of concrete and toughen the fuck up.
a nice big cup of concrete and
Harden the fuck up. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so that's Clarkey and I were having that discussion before we started.
Yeah.
But you had a nice weekend, you were saying.
We had a great weekend. So we went down to Winter Wine Weekend down in Red Hill, which had
lovely.
winter and wine on a weekend. So it's very aptly
Perfect.
named. And then the next day we went to Alba Hot Springs, which is
Lovely.
beautiful. It's a really, really nice place to go. So if you ever get the chance,
That sounds like a
recommend
very
it.
decadent, very cozy weekend.
it
Sounds lovely.
was. It was a beautiful winter weekend, and both days, despite the forecast, were had decent chunks of sunshine that we got to enjoy as well. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
I
really
can't remember
nice.
the weekend. I think it did have a bit of sun because I've made Tony turn. I've got this couch that I had up against a window. I've made him turn it round because it's a sun trap when it is sunny.
Nice.
So I've got my
Lovely.
conservatory, and then I've also
Yeah.
got my inside spot, my little sun trap where I can sit and read my book and just enjoy that. But my exciting news is that on a whim almost, I bought a wood fire heater on Facebook Marketplace a couple of weeks back. I don't know if I mentioned this.
Oh,
There's always something
And
you've bought, but no, you haven't mentioned that.
yeah, no.
and then I had to find a plumber prepared to install it for me and give me the compliance and everything, but I'm gonna put it on the deck. So my conservatory is gonna have a fire in it, so we can sit out there and drink red wine in the winter and be
Gosh,
lovely and
Nancy
cozy.
Gantz, fancy pants.
How's that? Yeah, I'm looking
Mm.
forward to that. So I suppose that's my news. Not pretty good, given I haven't left the house except this morning for the last 6 weeks. I think that's a bit of a win. And Swanee, you got any news?
I wish I did. Alas,
No, still no. You haven't thought of anything?
No, I'm in a sort of what I call my disordered eating, nil by mouth, trying not to eat anything, trying not to drink anything before I go to Europe in a couple of weeks, where I just shut it down and go nowhere, do nothing, and just be a bit of a winter kind of, I don't know, waiting to be out of the sunshine.
I suppose we should introduce ourselves. I'm Schmidty.
I'm Swanee.
And I'm Clarky. And together we are Trial
by
by Wine.
And what are we drinking?
I'm on my first Coke Zero.
There you go. Fridge Siggy.
Fridge Sig.
This could be a trial by not wine again. We're on just some SodaStream with flavouring in it because of all the wine we had on the weekend.
So the weekend.
Yeah.
You've got a very
But
good
it's probably still got wine in the system.
Yeah.
I'm just on tap water in a SodaStream bottle. That's how fancy I am.
That is
Nice.
that's nearly the lowest of the low, isn't it? Do we go any lower than tap water in the?
It's fresh tap water though. It's not tap water that's
where
been
I've had
sitting
it
here
sitting
for
around.
24 hours.
I still take the cake.
I think that's lower.
It's tap water in a plastic. Tap water in a glass is better than tap water.
Oh, that's
in a plastic.
highbrow.
True. Yeah.
No, but I think my old tap water in a plastic container was the
Melbourne
lowest.
water is excellent though, so I can't complain about that. I do have a solo, but I'm a bit worried because I've got a bit of indigestion, so I'm a bit scared to have it because I think it'll set me off a bit. So I'm sticking with the water.
Good.
If we'd like some wine talk, given it's trial by wine, we did enjoy lots and lots of Pinot Gris and Pinot Noir down in the Mornington Peninsula. It's very, very good.
You've reminded me. I'm going on like a wine tasting lunch
right up
on a
alley.
Sunday, and I'm like, what am I going to drink? Oh my God, I'm sure they'll have something.
Wine?
They normally don't have other things, you know what I mean? It's normally drink.
Yeah,
mix.
no, they don't. We used
to
to
drink
go
bubbles though, can't you?
Yeah, but I don't know if
definitely,
but I don't know if they'll have it.
They should.
Surely they'll have
I don't know
it.
if
Someone will have a
in the region I'm
sparkling.
going to down the road here. Anyway, we'll find out. It does make
Margaret,
me
is it
slightly
the Swan Valley?
No, just the Swan Valley. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did a cruise to the Swan Valley, a lunch cruise
up the Swan
years and years and years ago. And when we got on, we watched them wheel with one of those trolleys that you use to move furniture and stuff.
Yeah.
Watch them move on cases of cask wine. We're like,
I think I was on that cruise with you.
No, this is going to be bad.
I went on a cruise
been,
with you, and there was some Scots guy there who said something to me like, "Have you got any Scottish in you? Would you like some?"
Would you like some?
It was one of those. Yeah, and it was a very drunken affair, and I feel like we got home and I was supposed to get a flight back that night, and I was so pissed that you rang up Qantas and got me a later flight. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I had forgotten that. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, you managed to talk them into getting me a later flight because I was absolutely hammered. We were all hammered. And I remember getting back to work because I basically did the red eye and then came into Melbourne, showered, went straight to work. And I wasn't very well, but I got through it. I did it.
Oh, you always got through it. You were good like that.
I know. Well, I've always believed if you do it to yourself, you've got to suck it up, Jacinta.
Well, I do believe that too.
There you go.
I'm not against that.
But
there were so many times where I'd be so hungover. It would just be like under a desk,
just can't
vomiting in the bin at the tube station. I don't know. It was terrible.
I
just was the most hungover person I used to know. I was awful, and always have been. Like honestly, when I was at uni, I'll never forget. there'd be like a particular week where like Freshers Week or O Week, or depending on what university called it. And everyone would go so hard the first night and I'd go so hard the first night. And that'd be me done. I couldn't back up and continue to drink. I would be poisoned. Or other people would be like, oh, they'd get on it again. I've never had that backing up ability. I go hard and I go fast and I
same.
Deflate.
Hard same though.
Yeah.
I can't do a second night in a row usually.
Yeah.
I kind of have managed with Clarkie and Woo on occasion, but it's always a bit slower if it's not at all. I've always made myself feel good about that in that, I can't be an alcoholic if I can't do it every single night, like keep doing it. So it's like, that's okay. I'm just a binge drinker.
I'm a binge drinker, but there's like, I'm a bit better now. Like if we're going out socially and I'm drinking every night, like we're on holidays or whatever else, there's normally one night and I can't always tell when it's going to be where it really affects me. And I think, oh my God, I couldn't do that again. The next night I can drink and I'll be fine. You know, when alcohol affects you very differently, depending on what you're drinking, depending on where you are. And it's not always the way you think it's going to go. Yep. And then sometimes you think, oh my God, I'm hammered. And other times you're thinking, I think I'm drinking myself sober.
I can't get drunk.
Fine.
Yes. Yeah. I've drunk so much and I should be shit-faced and I feel
crazy when that happens.
Fine.
I think I've drunk myself sober. Yes.
Yep.
I've done that many times.
It is, yes.
Oh. All right. Well, shall I tell you a bit of, it's not really a story. It's a compilation of things, but it's, around a theme. Do you want to hear it? It's a best of?
Please.
Yeah, let's.
Go on then.
Let's.
All right. Well, so as you all know, I've been sitting around either on one couch A, couch B, or my bed for the better part of 6 weeks. And I've entertained myself through this process watching some TV, but I must admit I just couldn't find, there's just too much. I've got too many streaming services and I just can't find anything that I really wanted to watch.
That.
Did you find
you
one
would have
thing
thought
good?
with all this time. Yeah, I watched The Burrows, which is a series on Netflix, which was made by the Duff. No, it's American, made by the Duffer Brothers, same guys who did Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
Sort of similarly fantasy science fiction,
right.
but it was really well made. It had a brilliant cast, so I do recommend. Yep. Anyway, not to do with that. So I didn't watch a lot of telly, but what I have turned into is a doom scroller, and I have just sat and watched reel after reel after reel after reel, and so I sort of was thinking, what theme will I have for today's discussion or story? So I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a little look at social media crimes or crimes associated to reels or whatever. And it's amazing how many TikTokers have been arrested lately. So I'm going to tell you a few stories about some TikTokers that have been
this is what
arrested.
I want to hear.
I'm really not a fan.
Well, it's interesting because
I don't have TikTok.
Neither do I, but because we get it on Facebook or
you get it on
Instagram.
Facebook anyway.
Apparently 6 weeks later, if I dare say something to my kids, they're like, "Oh, Mum, that's old." But
whatever.
Right.
I have TikTok itself. I can't use it. I just don't get it. It just serves me shit I don't want to look at. It doesn't. The algorithm is not right for me. And I don't use it enough for it to get right.
By the algorithm, do you mean the app?
The algorithm in the app that's saying
the whole
what to send to me
is not right.
Yeah. No, well, the format's not right either.
Can I just tell you what my current algorithm, and it's been for a couple of weeks, I think it might have been because we had been to Thailand earlier in the year, but I didn't actually get this content at the time, so I don't know where it started. But one article came up and I read it. And of course, now I've read many, and I'm in this thing where I'm in a community basically where it's talking to men who are going to Pattaya to find themselves
a woman.
Do you mean you're in the manosphere?
I am in. It is so dodgy. Like if I just look at I'll look it up now.
Is it
like on
rabbit
Facebook.
hole?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. It's called it's things.
I know
like,
someone who could do with being in that community. Any chance you could send me some links? I need to make some recommendations.
Not one will come up, but honestly, sometimes there'll be 3 in a row. Maybe if I open and close it a couple of times.
What a fantastic.
I've
community
learned
to
quite a
be
lot,
part
and
of.
there's all these different names, and and I read the comments underneath. It is like it's like watching a train wreck. It's horrendous.
The
but
comments
I can't help
are
myself.
the best thing. Frankly, the
Yes.
comments in most of this, like you're looking at a reel, then you're really just reading the comments and seeing if
I do that
anything
with
funny's
just
in there.
normal posts on Facebook, straight to the comments. Don't click on the link.
Well, the normal Facebook, especially political ones, piss me off because I think people are stupid. So I get irritated by that. So I don't like the comments too much. But on these ones, it's just people funny.
Where's all my
There's
Thai content
people
gone?
being funnier. And I've been looking for it because there's a lot of
my Thai content.
I don't know where your Thai contact
They
is.
realise you're not a man.
I get a lot of anti-manosphere kind of feminist stuff coming through currently, which is fine, but some of that's wrong too. I'm just like, can we just look at equality and stop being
the highbrow
one over the other?
feminism drives me insane. Like, I'll do exactly what I hate men doing, and then I'll complain.
But I'll act like a man, and then I'll complain about it. Yeah, I don't like it either.
Shut up.
Yeah, just shut up, all of you.
I just don't like it.
I don't like it. No.
I don't like it. I don't like anything.
So I get a bit of that and the anti-manosphere things, but I'm getting a lot of DIY because I'm really opting into watching. And lately I've got this sort of ASMR.
What's that?
Of people. It's where it's meant to be a sensory thing. Like it's all about the sounds and stuff. So you're watching a little video and the sounds are a bit exaggerated in my mind. Do you find that, Shay?
I don't really get them very often, but yeah.
I don't really understand it. You'll probably have to Google it, but it's a sensory thing. It's a sound and sensory thing.
Yeah.
It's like, have you seen where like a TikToker or an influencer, they tap on stuff and they scratch. Like here's my sausage roll, and I'll turn it around and I'll scrape it so you can hear that scraping, and then I'll tap on it. It's a bit annoying, but it's a thing.
Of that.
Oh, well, anyway, this is I'll tell you, too many hours down this particular rabbit hole. Anyway,
what I'm missing out on.
Nothing, really. You're really not missing out on anything. Every now and then you find something funny. I've got a British guy that's on my feed, and he's testing recipes, high-protein recipes, to see if they're actually any good, and there's a few of those where people make recipes that have been recommended by influencers or whatever to say are they shit or not, and sometimes they are and sometimes they're not. And then there's another guy who tests all the life hacks. There was the thing, I don't know if you crossed this a while ago, it was more of a thing where you got all these hacks, like an example being wrap a bottle of wine if it's warm with a wet kitchen towel, put it in your put it in your freezer, and 10 minutes later you've got a fully chilled bottle of wine. That is a real hack, right? That is helpful. Those sorts of things. And there's this one guy, I think he's in England, judging by the Tesco cling film he uses, but he just tests all of those and says, are they real or not? And they're quite funny. But you can spend too much of your life watching this stuff.
Anyway, that was very healthy.
Yeah, no, I'm
look at the shit that I'm looking at. One of them just cut the stuff that I'm really watching. Some dirty old bloke with his 21-year-old girl, but that's the stuff that's on my feed. Oh my god!
Oh, that
and it's shocking,
really
and I
mucky.
can't. I'm like, oh, they are mucky. It starts. I'm only going to read the opening paragraph. I met someone incredible. Full stop. 21 years old, beautiful inside and out, and yes, I'm 50. God. So what? Question mark.
I mean,
and
so
he's
what?
got
My
me,
husband's
and then all of a sudden I'm reading it,
older
going,
than me.
"You fucking idiot."
Yeah.
Just one
and then
rule.
I better put this
Don't
on
pay
Facebook.
for it. A real connection isn't transactional. Never was, never will be.
Did you say you don't pay for it?
As if. Yeah,
of course you pay for it.
That 21-year-old's just with you because you're a hot foreign 50-year-old man.
On a slightly different tangent, yes. I don't know if you've ever watched the 90 Day Fiancé. I think I've talked about it before. Because this is all in line with I've been doom scrolling reels, but I've also watched a fair amount of trashy TV. I don't know if I told you last time we recorded that I've discovered a program called Love After Lockup. It's about as good as it sounds, and it's about couples where they've met when one is in jail, and they've, apparently they can write to a prisoner, and they've fallen in love, and they've never actually physically met, and then the day they get out of jail, the person picks them up, and we follow their love story from then on out to see whether or not it works out.
Are you serious?
And mostly it doesn't. Yes, I am serious. And to be fair, I've never seen a reality TV show where I've then gone and looked up the people in it and found out how many of them are dead, because there are quite a few of the people in this have died. A lot of drug addicts and stuff, unfortunately.
Not from their newfound love.
But from their old found love, the thing that got them in jail in the first place, their habits of methamphetamine, etc.
Yeah.
Anyway, 90 Day Fiancé, there's a couple on that, and the girl's from Thailand, and it's an older American man who got divorced. David and Annie, their names are, and David went to Thailand to discover himself after his marriage of 20-something years fell apart, and he'd lost all his money and whatever. And when he was in Thailand, he met Annie, and he obviously promised her a good life or whatever. Yeah. And she comes to America on the 90-day, on the visa, whatever
Sounds like
it
a
is.
real eat, pray, love
Well,
kind of.
all I'm going to say about this reverse, but what I'm going to say about is the first series, I've watched a bit of this. It is very difficult for Annie because he doesn't have work and he's not. But she says very clearly, he has not given me what he promised me.
Yeah.
You know, I've come here expecting a certain thing and he hasn't given it to me.
Yeah.
But they've stayed together and they are very happily married and they have at least one child now. And they are a really happy couple. So that contractual thing, though, right, that we're talking about, that sort of that contract of I'm marrying you, you're 30 years older than me and not very attractive, but that doesn't matter because you're going to give me and my family a better life. As long as you do that, then that's all right because that's what we agreed to.
All these different sites
who's the judge of that?
The woman who agreed to be in that relationship.
What if he's going, this is a better life? And she's raising the bar and going, no, I want it to be much better.
It's
this
interesting because sometimes it's not even that. Like I was reading one the other day about a couple who had
let Swanee tell you.
And it's all positioned like there's clearly different pages or groups.
She's in this community
and
now.
so some of them are really pro, it's working, this is why it's so wonderful. Others are like, this is the dark side, be careful. And one of them is like, a lot of it is really shitting on blokes going, you turn up, there's a name for it, farang or something, and you think you're the big Western rich man who's, really got fuck all of anything and it's all this pretending. But one of them was like taking this girl back or, his wife to be, took her back to Germany. And he's like, what do you think, do you think she deserves to be stuck with, because he's a man who lives with his old mother, in this little suburban setup in Germany. It's freezing cold, it's dark, whatever else. She's got no friends, no nothing.
Awful.
And it's like, it's not always this kind of, it's a better life somewhere else. It's like, it's very interesting. Each situation seems to have, there's like common threads through it. But, oh my God, I find it really interesting that sometimes people can delude themselves that much. People believe what they want to believe an awful lot.
I think going to Thailand to find a bride or being in Thailand and deciding you're going to leave Thailand with some allegedly rich Western man is fraught with danger. And if if it doesn't work out the way you would have liked it to, who gives a fuck? Because it was a stupid thing to do in the first place. Like,
and the same thing, there are men who do get scammed, who, thought that someone really loved them. And then there's all these stories about how they have other international boyfriends and they hide that from them. So they're giving money while they've gone back home thinking, oh my God, I'm in a relationship with this woman. Because some of them actually are in relationships, not just the ones who are.
That's right. Yeah. This is like Love After Lockup.
Correct.
Because there was one couple where
and they're hiding getting money from other people and stuff.
She was getting money from a whole other guy. She just referred to them all as tricks. Yes. And she was sending them all pictures of herself and whatever. Yeah.
There's nothing
She's quite honest about it.
Legitimate about whatever it is they're entering into. It's just
I don't know
hopefully it works for both of you, but you don't know.
No, but I mean, you don't know in any relationship, really.
That's true. I would say, though, I know that you haven't even got to start your story. And I do say, thank you, Trial by Wine, for giving me this outlet to talk about my most recent hobby.
Your platform.
Following the ins and outs of, I think the Thai sex trade.
I hope my phone's not listening and I don't start seeing this pop up on my
I haven't.
algorithm.
I think I sent one once to one friend going, why is this popping on my head? And I was like, I think it's because I read one and I couldn't look away.
Yes.
And then I thought I better not send them to anybody else because everybody will start getting that. Like it's one thing when I send you what they called real life babies or whatever else. That's bad enough.
They were very cute.
The reborn babies that
weren't even reborn. Yes. They were real life babies. They were very cute. Yeah, so anyway, I think it's all kind of relevant, though, because, we're talking about stuff that is platforms that are predominantly for purposes of entertainment, right? TikTok was created as a dance thing. If you think about it back when it first came out, people would do these funny little dances and then they'd take off, be a bit viral, and all these other people would copy it. There's still an element of that. There's a lot of pranking and bullshit like that where someone does something stupid, films that it does well, and then other people copy it. Some of these stories, though, are not to do with the content that they're making, but they're just their actual lives.
Are we going to be talking about 90 Day Fiancé?
90 Day Fiancé?
Any further, or are we done with that?
No.
Okay.
We're done with that.
Right.
Why? Did you have something to say about it?
Well, no, I was just going to ask, what's the premise of it? Like, what's the 90 days got to do with it? Is it just that it rhymes
it's an
nicely,
American,
or is there...
it's an American visa status thing. So they have 90 days to get married or they have to leave the country.
Right.
They come in on a particular visa. They've got 90 days to get married and be legitimised, or they got to fuck off. Yeah.
And they do it on international TV?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
TLC. It happens all the time. It's just that the TLC follows these people around and films their journeys.
It's fascinating. See how that makes it even more likely that they're going to succeed.
It's sort of, it's not all car crash TV, right? Some of these couples are very successful and happily, they're just people who met like on a holiday, like I did with Andy, that kind of thing. Or there are blokes who are like, I can't find a nice American girl. So then they go onto these websites and they're looking for foreign ladies that will entertain them. And that's more a bit like what you were just talking about there, Swanee.
Gross.
Although that's quite often like Russian girls and girls from the Eastern Bloc countries. Yep. Yeah. And those girls come to America and they put up with these men who are so, like really batting above their weight when it comes to the attractiveness of the girl that they've brought over. And in some cases, there was this one Russian girl who was like, this guy, promised me all this stuff. And now turns out he's got $100,000 in debt. He lives with his mum kind of thing. All that kind of stuff that I expected versus the reality. She still wanted to have marriage counselling. She still was trying to make that relationship work. And he was just an infantile, spoiled brat who just didn't appreciate he'd made this girl give up her family and friends. And as to your point, Swanee, about it's not necessarily a better situation just because you're on American soil. With the arrogance of thinking just being in America is better than anywhere else is extraordinary. So anyway, that's my rant about some of the stuff I've seen on 90 Day Fiancé.
Surely be better with the lovely bloke who can't find a nice woman in his own country, so he's trawling the globe for somebody who might put up with him.
Isn't it? Well, those girls, some of those girls, though, they never see them, right? They never show up. They just take the money. Just send me this money, come and give me money. And there's a few of those. There's one poor fellow who was so badly catfished. It was just tragic. And the amount of money he'd sunk into this woman over the 2-3 year period. Oh, so sad. Anyway, I'm not talking about that today. That might be a future episode if I find some crimes associated to the program. Yeah. But a few years back, I did look into crimes associated with like reality TV and that, and I didn't really find very much. So I was surprised at how many TikTokers I found. TikTok, as you know, is a massive phenomenon, and lots of kids got on board and younger people got on board. So it's statistically, it's probably not that surprising that I found a lot more crime stories around TikTokers, just given the proliferation of it nowadays. So my first story comes from Dexerto.com, and the headline is TikToker Tea Time, spelled TeaTyme, arrested for allegedly killing pedestrian with car on stream. And that is not killing a pedestrian on a stream, as in a body of water. No, as in a live stream.
Whilst live streaming. Brilliant. Yeah, deliberately or accidentally? Because it was distracted by the phone.
Accidentally. So this is by Michael Gwilliam, and it was published on December 25th, 2005. TikTok creator Tea Time has been arrested nearly 2 months after she allegedly struck and killed a pedestrian while live streaming from her car. The influencer, that's the term I hate the most, whose real name is Tanisha McCarty-Rotten, was taken in. It's probably Rotten.
Is that a joke?
It's probably Roten. It's only
that's
one
what I was thinking.
But,
is that, that's a real name?
Tanisha or Tanisha McCarty-Rotten, or Roten, I'd say, was taken into Wroten.
Roten.
Was taken into custody on Christmas.
Rotten Tea Time.
Yeah, in connection with the. Well, yes, let's. Because let's. She was taken into custody on Christmas Eve in connection with the November 3 death of Darren Lucas, 59, according to Zion Police. Lieutenant Paul Curley of the Zion Police Department confirmed McCarty-Rotten, 43, faces felony charges of reckless homicide and aggravated use of a communications device resulting in death. I've never heard of aggravated use of a communications device. Yeah. There's a few of these new charges all around, doing things with a carrier.
I mean, if you threw your phone at someone.
Telecommunications carrier services. There's charges around if you stalk someone or you send an abusive text to me and threaten me, there are charges around you inappropriately using a telecommunications services carrier. Yep. For ill intent or something. Yeah. So there's a whole raft of new legalese, I guess, or charges associated to utilising mobile phones, tablets, and the internet to be a shit. So the charges can carry a sentence ranging from several years to more than a decade in prison, depending on enhancements. I don't know what the enhancements are, but anyway. Police say McCarty Rotten was live streaming on TikTok while driving through Zion, Illinois, north of Chicago, when she struck Lucas.
Zion.
That's the name of the town.
When she struck, like
it is, or Zion.
I'm pretty sure. When they were doing that, did someone not go, do we really want to call it this?
Well, they're very biblical, and it'll be a biblical name.
There's a national park called Zion National Park in the US.
It'll be a biblical thing. Yeah,
it's very, very famous. I'd really like to go there. It's incredible. I feel like it's going to Utah or somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
It's like one of those ones with like mesas and buttes, like metas and buttes. What I remember learning about in geography, like the flat ones versus the sticky ones up in the desert.
Yes.
I feel like it's like at a Cars movie, that kind of thing.
Okay, that does sound rather spectacular. So back to tea time. She struck Lucas as he crossed an intersection near his home in Beach Park. Footage from the stream reportedly captured a loud thud, followed by McCarty Rotten saying, "Fuck, I just hit somebody." A child in the car can be heard asking what happened before the stream abruptly cut off. Lucas was found unconscious at the scene and later pronounced dead at a hospital emergency room due to blunt force injuries. McCarty Rotten initially remained at the scene and cooperated with investigators. She was not immediately charged. Police later said their investigation intensified after becoming aware of a video suggesting the fatal crash occurred during a live stream tied to her TikTok account.
She didn't upload it. Oh, it was live streaming.
It was live streaming, yeah.
Yeah.
And that account was later set to private, and a bio listing Zion as the user's location was removed. Now, I have a follow-up article on that, which was around the same time, like actually the day before, and this is by The Guardian, but I just want to add a little bit more information. So this article was by Raymond Antonio Vargas from theguardian.com about the same thing. So pretty much same sort of information to start with. And then Lucas's son-in-law, Chris King, said Tuesday that the state attorney's office had informed his family of McCarty Rotten's arrest. "My family and myself are glad to see the wheels of justice moving," King said. Lucas was walking at an intersection in Zion near his home at Beach Park when a motorist reportedly struck him, leaving him unconscious. He was later pronounced dead. McCarty Rotten remained at the scene of the crash to speak to investigators, but this is where we get a bit more info. According to police, she allegedly reported that she believed she had a green light when she noticed Lucas's crossing in front of her too late and therefore hit him. She wasn't immediately charged. McCarty Rotten soon drew the police's scrutiny, though, after surveillance video in the area revealed she had a red light and Lucas had the green when she struck him as he walked across the street. So he's walking appropriately and she's gone through a red light. Within days, police also learned of a video that suggested Lucas had been hit by a driver live streaming on a TikTok account associated with Rotten. She eventually surrendered her phone through an attorney after initially declining to turn it over, police said. And officers added that a forensic analysis confirmed the video of McCarty Rotten live streaming was taken on the date and at the time of the crash that killed Lucas. The TikTok video that caught police's attention was a screen recording of a live stream hosted by user TeaTime3. In the video, the host was seen speaking at her telephone before a loud thud prompted her to say, "Fuck, fuck, fuck, I just hit somebody." TeaTime3 ended the live stream just as a child in the car asked what had happened. Someone else in the car, meanwhile, questioned whether the driver was okay. That account was subsequently made private and a biography section about Zion was deleted. This is the bit is why I think it's all right to call her Rotten, not Roten. McCarty Rotten, who is linked to the Tea Time moniker in online profiles and Illinois state business records, later sparked a social media outcry when she appeared on a separate live stream days after Lucas's death and solicited donations on the Cash App platform. She said any donations that she received would support her taking mental leave amid a lot of shit going on. Oh. I don't like asking y'all for shit, but if y'all find it in y'all's heart and y'all want to support, my Cash App is right there, she remarked, according to a recording of the plea made to a restricted TikTok audience. Among numerous negative replies to McCarty Rotten's solicitation was a TikTok comment reading, "How despicable. She has no remorse." Another read, "Cash App after mowing over somebody." Besides being a TikTok personality, online profiles associated with Tea Time tout her as a musician and book publisher. Lucas's family has launched a GoFundMe campaign meant to raise financial support for his widow, whom King described as the late man's everything. Studies through the years have attributed cell phones use while driving to an increase in the potential for crashes like the one that killed Lucas. And TikTok prohibits drivers from live streaming on the platform as a matter of safety. I assume, well, it says drivers, not just anyone who has a driver's license. It prohibits you from doing it whilst driving.
I'm going to say it doesn't prohibit you from doing it.
No. But setting a customized background with the platform's green screen function can defeat the safety measure.
Oh. So it actually has something built in.
Has something that reads the background and says you're in a car.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then it does. That's good. So
It tries.
God, it's hard to be
She asked for
influencer nowadays, isn't it?
Isn't it? I know, it's tough. How's that? Asking, I don't like to ask, but, I'm going through some shit. Yeah, I killed someone.
Fucking
Not
hell.
even a live stream saying, if you were on that live stream yesterday or whatever time, I hit a man, he's died.
Yeah, I'm so.
Yeah, could you delete it?
I'm devastated.
I'm just devastated. I'm never going to forgive myself for this. I feel sick. Nothing. Just, if you could just help me out.
I was trying to work out how it happened on the 3rd of November and she got arrested on Christmas Eve, but it was obviously because she was obviously delaying as much as she could.
She didn't give her phone over, all that. So now on to another death by car with influencers involved, but this is a little different, also from Dexito.com.
Oh, has she been sentenced? Sorry, did I miss that?
No, not yet. No follow-up story on that. So that's
I just can't get my head around her name. I'm still stuck on her name.
Her real name? Tanisha?
No, the whole long bit.
Tea Time or the rotten bit?
Rotten at the end.
I can't remember. Look, we just talked about her and I can't remember her first name. McCarty. Thank you. McCarty Roten. Yep.
I've been roting over people for days.
It's terrible. This next one, influencer Claudia Glam dies after being hit by a car driven by rival influencer.
What?
I thought that would have that reaction. This is by Connor Bennett, and this was updated on the 26th of April, 2026, so it's fairly recent. So social media influencer Claudia Glam has died after being hit by a car outside a nightclub in Soho.
I know this story, I think.
Yeah, with friends paying tribute to her on social media.
I don't think I know that she died.
I think I knew it happened, but was on life support, I think, for a week or so before she passed away.
I'd forgotten, but yeah.
Yeah, in the early hours of April 19, emergency services were called to Soho, London, after a woman had been hit by a car. According to the Daily Mail, the woman, Claudia Zarevska, who is known online as Claudia Glam, had been involved in a heated argument with an apparent rival before being run over. Videos of the incident went viral on social media, of course, with bystanders being heard shouting, "She's going to run her over," before Claudia was trapped under the car. So they've got time to pull their phones out and film it. No one's got time to pull her off the street or get anyone away from this. It just winds me up so much.
No, let me get my phone.
The instant reaction is to film everything. It's useful. It's even it's useful from an investigative perspective. If you think about the shooting of the girl in America, when the ICE agent shot her, and there's all these different camera angles of that. So it's useful from that perspective, and you can kind of understand how people are trying to weaponize phones to sort of say, don't do a bad thing because you're on camera, you're being caught.
I think that's different because.
But there's so much of this, and I'll just finish this story and I'll get on to an anecdote I've got about an influencer who is in my reels. Anyway, so the influencer, who has over 260,000 followers on Instagram, was rushed to a nearby hospital. LBC reported that Claudia had been in a critical condition on the 20th of April, with a 29-year-old woman being arrested on attempted murder, grievous bodily harm, dangerous driving and drink driving. She's been taken into custody. So on the April 19th, 2026, Claudia Glam dies after Soho car incident. Claudia Zakreska?
Glam.
Glam's easier, yeah.
Go with Glam, yeah. No wonder she went with Claudia Glam.
I said it more easily before, Zakrzewska, has died after being hit by a car in Soho. As reported by Sky News now, the 32-year-old influencer who was known online as Claudia Glam went to hospital and then died on the 25th of April. Following her death, the attempted murder charge against Gabrielle Carrington, sounds like something out of Dynasty, also known online as Riel UK, will be amended to murder. Carrington had already been charged with attempted murder, grievous bodily harm, etc.
Why did she do that? Just a bit
They'd had a Barney over
of
something.
Beef. Oh,
I want to know what the rivalry
and she was pissed as a newt, and apparently she jumped in her car and ran her over. And she's due May 19th.
What are the young kids saying? What's her name? Gabrielle Carrington.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't. There was,
what's Real UK doing running over Claudia Glam?
They had a bit of beef about something. Detective Chief Inspector Alison Foxwell said police would like to express our deepest sympathies to Claudia's family and friends while urging the public to avoid speculation and not share graphic footage of the incident online. We also ask that people do not share graphic footage out of respect for Claudia's loved ones, yes, and for those who have been injured. It would have been absolutely horrendous. And then one of her friends remarks, I'm the one left with the memory of watching my best friend, someone I love, get killed right in front of me, left there fighting for their life, slipping away. That image doesn't leave me. It replays over and over, and I can't escape it, one of Claudia's friends said with a handful of broken heart emojis attached.
I know that it's very serious and very tragic. It's just when you start throwing around the word influencer.
The word influencer, and then when you say, and then I attach emojis because it's, it's someone who's putting a comment on something or, that's where I feel like it minimizes how serious this is, if it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? When it's like, and then with a handful of broken heart emojis. What?
Yeah, I mean, that's weird. A handful. How many is that anyway? But influencer, who is this real people? Did they die on TikTok? Was it a TikTok person who died or the real person?
She was a real person. She was a very beautiful young
woman.
What was the
who
was making money out of being beautiful, I think. Well, what I do know about...
I can't find it. I'm trying to have a look.
Oh, could you? I'd love that.
The girl who ran her over...
I mean, a Reddit thread and they don't seem to know.
Real UK. It says here, there's been an ongoing dispute between the parties and the parties are known to each other. The full extent of the incident wasn't appreciated at the time that the offers attended.
Social media rival, that's it.
I think that's all it was.
Yeah.
I'm more hot. I've got more followers than you have. Oh, I'll teach you. I'll follow you.
Were they rivals
Mercedes
before she ran over her? Maybe they were.
Yes, they were.
That was why. That's why she did it.
Okay. I just thought she might have had a bad day.
Some poor man who's the security guard, by the way, gets a real little footnote here.
Yes.
A man in his 50s, Anush Shish, if that's how you say it, or Chichi, was also taken to hospital with life-changing injuries, and a woman in her 30s, Letitia Armstrong, also suffered minor injuries. So a couple of bystanders got hit as well.
The girl who was the driver had been like an X Factor
finalist. Here you go. So, Gabrielle Carrington, a former X Factor finalist, appeared in court on Tuesday accused of trying to kill Zakrzewska. What am I saying, Zakrzewska? Zakrzewska.
Oh, my God. It says
outside the Inca nightclub.
Yes.
Yeah, which one are you reading? Are you reading the BBC one?
No, a Sky News one. So it says, she's running her over. An onlooker is heard yelling as the black Mercedes knocks Glam down, smashing into two others. In the process, the car then allegedly reverses over the motionless Glam with a sickening thud.
Yeah, she meant to do it.
They don't look that different. Have a look at them. There's the picture of influencer Gary, like they're very big,
they're plastic,
booby, very plastic, very fake tan,
very
fake
everything.
Yeah. Very OnlyFans.
Well, she was a TikTok and Instagram influencer from Essex. Not to stereotype, but there's a bit of an Essex girl
kill
thing.
Somebody.
Well, she was pretty pissed, and I think you can get a bit deluded about how important you are when you've got X number of followers.
Yes, I agree.
You're an influencer. You're important. Go on, Clarky.
There's one heading that says Claudia Zakrzewska run down after 4 a.m. brawl. I want to see the 4 a.m. brawl.
They might have had a fight
beforehand.
in the club. They might have had a fight in the club, yeah.
Could have been full on. And then, I want to know, something happened that made her get into a car piece to run her down. I want to know what that was.
And then we've got people, again, raising nearly £18,000 have been crowdfunded for Zakrzewska's treatment and her family's legal fees. The GoFundMe page has said said to be set up by her mother, said, if at any time things take a turn for the worse, additional funds will go toward funeral costs and continuous support for the family. I don't know how I feel about that.
It's terrible, but...
It's terrible, but I've had people die in my family and we just pay the funeral costs. We don't do a crowdfund immediately and ask people to give money for it. And by the way, it's the NHS. It's a public system.
But this again comes back
healthcare
to
was
what
covered
people
by the
are
NHS.
pretending they are and who they are as influencers. The girl who's driving the cars, driving a Mercedes, there's all this stuff that comes with it that's projecting
100%.
this image of affluence, sort of else. Most of it's bullshit, smoke and mirrors. Then the moment something real happens, like someone's very real, murdered, like there's no scaffolding holding all that up. It's just smoke and mirrors. Absolute bullshit.
And there's different types of influences, and this is why I wanted to get past this story, because you've got these sorts of influences which seem to be, yes, I've seen her. She's beautiful, but there's
nothing real about
there are a lot of people who would find that attractive, and that's the point of influence, right? Is to say, I want to look like that, I want to have that lifestyle. It's the same as the manosphere stuff.
People I stare at in.
For me, it's the female version.
What have you done to your face?
Oh, hang on, I'll get there. There's a female version of the manosphere virtually. It's sort of like they're that's why I said the OnlyFans type, because they're the sexy ones. They're the girls who are always playing with their long hair. In every video they're playing with their hair, and their fingernails are 17 inches long, and they've got puffy lips and fake boobs and all the rest of it, and they just that's the look, and that's how they make money, and they make really good money out of it too.
Yes.
But then you've got other people
way
who
too judgy of those people.
have got more of a social justice platform, or trying to use their platforms for good. There's a bloke called Misha, and Swanee, you would know him. I can't think of his handle, but it's something like "Don't Cross Gay Men" or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Something like that. I think you must have come across him because he's
I have.
very popular. But he was talking the other day about how he was having lunch with another influencer, and he didn't really know her, but he'd organised to have lunch with her, and he is, he's always talking about all the good work, the charity and stuff that he does. And he was talking about how he had seen this little old man who is a local homeless person in his area, and the weather was changing, and he'd noticed that he only had like shopping bags to keep himself warm. And he said to him, "Do you want me to go get you a blanket?" And the guy goes, "Don't worry about it." It's like, and he talks to him all the time, right? It's not like a one-off interaction. He said, "I'll get you a blanket." He goes to Target and gets the guy a blanket, and she whips out her phone to film this. And he's like, "What are you doing? Don't film this." And
why would you do it if you weren't doing it for content?
Yes. And she says, "But this is really good. This could go really viral and, get a load of engagement and get you a lot of money." And he's like, no, this is not for platforms. This is, and she goes, "Well, that's okay if you don't film it. I'll put it on mine." And he's like, no. And he got really wound up. And then they had this heated exchange on a text message. And he's like, "I just don't agree with what you were trying to do. It's not my idea of how you do influencing. It's not really what we're here for." And she was like, "I'll give you a word of advice. You just do what you do to make money, right? Whatever you can, just hustle. Basically." And he was really pissed off about it and ranting about it online. So the point is, there are some people out there who have worked through the ethics of these things. I'm sure they overstep and they can be problematic at times, but they're probably a bit more mindful and they're trying to use their platforms for positive change. He is a massive advocate of women. So he talks a lot about anti-manosphere stuff, but also trying to help women escape domestic violence and things like that. So that's Misha. I think it's something like "Don't Cross Gay Men" or something like that. Anyway, so that's the sad story of the X Factor X, who is now a murderer. She was one of the 3 members of Miss Dynamix, if you remember it, from 2013. No, I don't.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No.
No. So the next one from the same source, because it was an absolute goldmine, which is Dexerto.com. This one is TikToker arrested after sending police and fire department to fake emergency for views.
What?
So again by Michael Gwilliam, and this is from January 15th, 2026.
They've all been busy lately.
I know.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how
You never have to look back far.
prolific
so many.
it was. Yeah.
Spoilt for choice.
A 19-year-old TikTok prankster has been arrested after a fake emergency call resulted in the police department, fire service, and even the Coast Guard wasting their time, which is their favourite thing to do.
Yeah, what a hoot.
They love
you
it.
Prankster. I bet they weren't calling him a
You
prankster.
silly prankster. On January the 13th, a Blackpool teen allegedly tried to boost his TikTok engagement at around 2:30 a.m. by making a hoax emergency call. The caller reportedly warned that someone had entered the sea near the RNLI lifeboat station, resulting in a 90-minute search. Oh, how angry would you be? Lancashire Police, the fire department, ambulances, Her Majesty's Coast Guard, helicopters and lifeboat volunteers all sprang into action looking for someone who never even existed.
What's the punishment for that?
You hang on to that one. After nobody was discovered in the water, police announced that 19-year-old Kian King had been arrested and charged, and they charged him with causing wasteful employment of police time. That's an interesting way of wording it. We have charged a man in connection with a hoax call which led to an emergency response in Blackpool involving police, His Majesty's Coast Guard, the fire service and ambulance service, a police spokesman said. Around 90 minutes of searching, it transpired this was a hoax call thought to have been linked to an attempt to boost engagement on a social media account. His Majesty's Coast Guard, Fleetwood, also issued a statement alleging that during the search, they had to deal with interference from a laser pen that was directed at its equipment.
I shouldn't laugh.
No.
It's so bad.
From
laser
the
pens.
prankster?
Yeah.
Not sure. Laser
Probably.
pens cause significant risk to our air crew and seriously hamper their efforts to locate people in difficulty and save lives. It is incredibly irresponsible to target aircraft with such devices, they warned. We encourage people to call us for help if they have concerns or suspect an emergency in the coast. And it's not the first time a content creator has gotten in trouble for a false alarm. Back in 2023, a young iShow Speed was given a warning by the police and threatened with a felony charge after accidentally dialing emergency services. Well, allegedly accidentally. But think of the cost of that. 90 minutes. You had a helicopter. You had volunteers who got out of bed at 2:30 in the morning. I feel like a perfect punishment is to just black ban him from any emergency services support from his life. So when he gets hit by a car and, we're not calling an ambo for you.
Mate.
You're the boy who cried wolf. Anyway, that's
I was
just
also
an
hoping
instant
when
one
you
from
said
me.
they charged him, I thought it would be nice if they charged him for the cost of the rescue
Yes, it would.
effort.
He's probably only got 900 followers, though, so I don't know how well he's monetized his channel, so he might not
but he
actually
can
have
just
the
pay
money
it
to
off
pay.
over the course of his life.
His life, yep, true.
Yeah,
He
there's
should
no rush
pay
to
that
pay it
back.
back, just as long as you do it by the time you're dead.
Okay, and again from the same wonderful source, Dexerto.com, Florida man arrested after trying to stay inside Walmart overnight for TikTok challenge. This article by
What?
Dylan Heretsky from January 20th, 2026. Honestly, these people. A Florida man was arrested after attempting to remain inside a Walmart store overnight as part of a TikTok challenge he was live streaming for views. The incident occurred, underlying all of this is obviously our bitterness about that we don't have more than 700 listeners.
Yeah. Like 100%.
And we've been doing this for 5 years. Yeah, that's what this really is.
Because
This
we're
is
not
what
doing
it's really
stunts.
about.
We need to start doing some stunts.
And we don't do
We
any
need some
social media
rival
posts much.
influencers that we can have scrag fights with.
Clarky puts the odd meme up, but apart from that, we don't do a lot. We don't try much.
I
You're
don't
right.
want to draw
we should-
attention to this.
No, I know. You don't want anyone to find out about it. Sorry. A Florida man was arrested after attempting to remain inside a Walmart store overnight as part of a TikTok challenge he was live streaming. The incident occurred late on January 13 at a Walmart location in Englewood, Florida, after deputies were dispatched to the store following reports of a suspected burglary that involved a TikTok live stream. According to the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded just after 11 p.m. to the local Walmart store after a caller reported man still inside the building after closing. When deputies entered the store, they located the suspect, later identified as Isaac Matthew Hurley, in the dog bed section while actively live streaming on TikTok. Investigators determined that Hurley entered the store at about 10:15 and planned to stay overnight in an effort to complete a TikTok challenge. He told them that he was attempting to earn money based on the number of views his live stream received. During the investigation, deputies also found out that Hurley had removed an iPhone charger from its packaging whilst inside the store. He was taken into custody at the scene and has been charged with burglary of an occupied structure and petite theft for the phone charger.
How old was he?
I don't have his age. Sorry. There you go. And then it
I feel like he's 42.
I'm not sure why people buy into these social media challenges when they're clearly encouraging you to violate the law, said Sheriff Bill Prummel. From the kicking in the front door challenge to the destruction of public property thing a couple of years ago to now something as silly as this, young people especially are putting themselves in bad situations and paying the price for it. Why aren't any of these challenges aimed at making the world better? Imagine mobilising an entire generation to do positive things, the impact that could have. Instead, we're busy arresting people for making poor choices just to get views and likes. It's a shame. To quote Darren Hinch, shame.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. This comes, and ironically, this is a different one, but it comes just 19 days after a 19-year-old TikToker was arrested after sending the police and fire department to a fake emergency in an attempt to get his TikTok engagements up. And another dickhead, again from dexoto.com, but this is from Japan. Man who poured cleaning solution on sushi for TikTok views arrested by Japanese authorities.
Oh, what?
Virginia Glaze wrote this one, and this is from the 5th of June, 2026. So literally 4 days ago. A man who poured cleaning solution on conveyor belt sushi with the aim of going viral on TikTok has been arrested on charges of forced obstruction of business. The video uploaded on TikTok on May 27 showed the man spraying a plate of sushi with cleaning solution from a transparent squeeze bottle as it passed by his booth on a conveyor belt. Could have been anything. The incident took place in Saitama Prefecture at a Hama sushi location, one of Japan's most popular conveyor belt sushi chains. Police were able to identify the poster a week later, and to your point earlier, Clarkie, as an unemployed 43-year-old man living in Moroyama, Saitama Prefecture, named Yuta Shinichi. Shinichi was arrested for forced obstruction of business and reportedly admitted to the crime, saying he wanted to increase his views on social media. He also clarified that the substance he poured on the sushi was water from a detergent container.
Chill out, it was just water.
Just water, exactly.
Yeah, from a detergent container.
Yeah.
The microplastics would go up, but nothing else.
Poured it on the sushi and then ran in front of the conveyor belt and ate the same sushi. I could live with that. But the fact it's going out to someone else. Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're an asshole.
Yeah. The Hama Sushi has since responded to the viral incident, saying in a statement, such disruptive behaviour is completely unacceptable. We will continue to fully cooperate with the police investigation. The chain also confirmed that it intends to pursue legal action against Shinichi, saying it absolutely cannot accept his actions. And it's important to note that this sushi wasn't being sent down the belt to another customer. Reports from Japanese news outlet Sora24 state that Hama Sushi sends plates to customers directly rather than preparing sushi to be put on the conveyor belt until they are eaten by anyone at random.
Oh.
However, this doesn't mean that the detergent didn't impact the surrounding area and could still have had adverse effects on other diners.
I don't really understand that. What was that about?
How did we get to this?
I think they were basically saying he did as he did. He sprayed it on. Now, he might have ordered it for himself, and that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier.
And sprayed it on his own? Or?
On his own. But if he sprayed it with a wide spray bottle, right, not just tipping it on, it could have gone wide and gone onto other meals, is what they were saying.
That's true. He needs a good nut punch.
He does, doesn't he? Yes.
Oh, massive.
I mean, just get a job. I think the problem here is there are a lot of people online trying to make money out of this new way. The number of kids in cars, and I don't know if this is just a homeless epidemic in America, but people who are filming themselves living out of cars or living out of a van because it's cheaper than renting. And then every day they go to the Fitness First and they do their workout and they have their shower and their shit because they pay $15 a month for their gym membership, and it's cheaper than paying rent, right?
Okay, right. So they go.
They have enough. They make enough money though to have Wi-Fi and their computer because they're content creators. So they make these videos of their little funny little lives that are a bit different to everyone else's. They're harmless enough, but I am starting to think there's a real. Yeah, we talk about a housing crisis here. Jesus, these kids can't afford to live. They're living out of cars in America.
There's a job crisis.
There is a job crisis in America, and I think we all know why that's happened. Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead teenagers doing stupid things is one thing.
They're
43-year-old men.
Yes, true. Yes. But it's very accessible. I mean, look at us. We just bought a few microphones and found riverside.com and away we went.
We're not killing people.
True. We're not killing people. And we're not doing pranks to hurt people. As much as my mother thought we were very divisive, and I don't know why, but we just read out stories, Mum. I don't know what the problem is. She was very anti-social media. And I'm starting to turn into her a bit at this point in time.
Oh,
I particularly feel like going back to our conversation at the very beginning of this episode. For me, I've said it before, I'll say it again, turn off commenting. I just don't want everyone's opinion. Even though we go to the comments because some people are very funny and they make funny comments, all that vitriol and the nastiness and the negativity and the filth, we could not have that in our lives if we just turned off commenting. So my new one is this is no longer from the same source. I know you're shocked. I've actually managed to find another TikToker in trouble. This is theguardian.com, and this is UK news. And police rearrest TikToker Mizzy, who filmed himself entering, because he's done it before, entering strangers' home. So this one is from the 27th of May, 2023. It's an older article by Alexandra Topping has written this story. And it's about a person called Bakari Bronze O'Garo.
Bakari rug?
Bakari Bronze O'Garo.
Remember that? Genuine Bakari rug?
Yes.
This is a Bakari rug. Bakari Bronze, sorry. They must have changed their name. I mean, what were we talking about? Crystal Beth the other day.
Crystal Beth.
And now we've got Bakari Bronze O'Garo.
They're just crazy names.
A teenager who was fined and issued with a criminal behaviour order after entering a stranger's home in a TikTok video has been rearrested 2 days after appearing in court. Bakari Bronze O'Garo, 18, known as Mizzy, appeared at Thames Magistrates Court on Wednesday where he admitted to one count of failing to comply with a community protection notice issued on the 11th of May 2022. In a video posted on Twitter on Friday, O'Garo was seen being arrested by a plainclothes police officer who referred to 2 videos published on social media. I mean, come on. At one point you get arrested for doing the wrong thing. Stop making videos doing the wrong thing again and putting them on social media where the police are just waiting to see them.
Also, stop breaking into people's homes. I think
correct.
3 strikes and you're out. And by out, I mean out. Lights out.
The spokesperson from the police said on Friday, 26th of May, officers arrested an 18-year-old, blah, blah, blah. He's been taken into custody. O'Garo gained national notoriety after widely shared social media footage showed him walking into someone's home without permission, filmed as part of an online trend for entering strangers' homes. If you do that in America, you get killed.
Yeah.
In other videos, he was seen allegedly entering a man's car, claiming it was his Uber and pestering train passengers. He's an all-round good guy. On Wednesday, the judge, Charlotte Krangle, issued a Hackney-based teenager.
What?
Sorry, the Hackney-based teenager. I can't help it if her name is Charlotte Krangle.
The names are just insanity.
Has not been changed to protect the innocent. Charlotte Cranky Krangle. She happens to be the judge.
Oh no, we're going up in front of Cranky Krangle.
Oh no, we've got Cranky Krangle. You're going down, mate. Yeah, so issued the Hackney-based teenager with an order not to post videos onto social media without the consent of the people featured. It's not a very good order. He was also told he must not trespass on private property, and must not attend the Westfield Centre in Stratford, East London. Not allowed to go to the shopping centre anymore. O'Garo was also ordered to pay a total of £365. Verinda Hare, prosecuting, told the court O'Garo had breached a community protection notice which included the condition that he not trespass on private property. He went to the home of the address of the victim. She said the door of the property was open. Mr. O'Gara walked into the property and immediately walked down the stairs. He was stopped by the homeowner. How terrifying. He went into the living room. He sat down on the sofa and said, "Is this where the study group is?" In mitigation, it's still terrifying. Lee Sargent said O'Gara was raised by a single parent and he had a difficult upbringing. The teenager had apologised to the family, he added. Yeah, right.
Well, that's all right then.
He's an intelligent young man and a young man with some potential, he said. After the fine was issued, he appeared on Piers Morgan Uncensored on Talk TV, where the presenter asked him why he was terrorising people in his neighbourhood. The teenager replied, "I wouldn't call it terrorising. I would more call it having fun. But let me get this out of the way first. I apologise. You see, the situation that blew up on the internet, like walking into random houses, the next day I apologised because I felt bad." That's good, isn't it?
And then I did it 2 days later or whatever it was.
Yes. And I think this one is my last one that I've actually got written down. Again from Dexerto.com, because again, it's just a gold mine.
I've never heard of it.
Neither had I until I started looking up
Now
TikTok
it's a gold
arrests.
Yes.
TikTok is arrested and it is a gold mine. So this one is from Michael Gwilliam again. He is their TikTok entertainment
He's their TikTok correspondent.
He is.
TikTok
I looked him up.
He said John Michael Howson.
He is, because I looked him up to see if his name was G. William and I'd got it wrong somehow, or if it was Gwilliam, and it's Gwilliam.
A big Gwilliam, yeah.
Fugitive streamer on the run after being...
Guillaume, is it?
Guillaume. No, it's not Guillaume, because that's spelled completely
French.
different.
Yeah,
This is literally G. William.
Oh, wow.
The letter
Okay.
G, William.
Did you just say fugitive streamer on the run?
Yeah, I did, and I haven't finished the sentence. Fugitive streamer on the run after being sentenced to prison for killing personal trainer.
What?
May 14,
Are they
2026.
live streaming when they're on the run?
No, I don't think this had anything. This is just a psycho live streamer. An influencer is on the run after she was sentenced to 3 years behind bars for killing a personal trainer with her SUV. What is it with killing people with your cars? This is the third influencer to kill someone with a car. Rosa Ibere Tavares Dantas, an
What's
influencer.
her real name on TikTok? It's got to be not that.
I don't know if I get it. An influencer who streamed on Bigo Live was convicted of negligent homicide over the death of 31-year-old Talis Roque de Silva, who was struck whilst riding his motorcycle in Manaus, Brazil. The crash happened on August 31st, 2023, after Dantas turned at a junction and hit De Silva's motorbike. He was thrown from the vehicle, struck a metal pole and suffered multiple fractures. Jesus. De Silva was taken to hospital and resuscitated, but later died after going into cardiac arrest. That's horrendous. According to reports, Dantas was sentenced on the 4th of May to 3 years in prison by Judge Aldrin Henrique de Castro Rodriguez. Ulrike de Castro Rodriguez of the 10th Criminal Court of Manaus. She was convicted of negligent homicide and ordered to serve the sentence in a semi-open prison regime, meaning she may be allowed to work, hopefully not influence, or study during the day, but must return to a supervised facility at night. The influencer was also fined and banned from driving for 1 year and 6 months. 18 months of no driving after you've killed someone. However, she booked it out of town.
I know she hit him, but was it some kind of vengeful act, or was it
she
was trying to live stream?
No beef.
Car accident. Just a car
Didn't she know him?
No. It wasn't her personal trainer. It was a personal trainer.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a car accident.
Well, what's that? Why is that relevant then?
It's just because he was a TikToker arrested. So that's my theme. TikTokers who've been arrested.
Right. Yeah, no, I just wondered about the personal trainer, why they had to say it was a personal trainer, not just a person.
Why is it even relevant that she's an influencer?
Well, because
do you say marketing manager arrested for blah, blah?
Yeah, no,
we don't do it, right?
No,
it's just woman arrested.
There's something about
shop assistant arrested for having a car accident. No, we don't say that.
No.
It's because you don't wield the level of influence that these amazing people do.
Insurance assessor. Insert title here.
Yeah, any kind of job.
Correct. Salesperson. If it's not
Entertainment
relevant to anything.
consultant.
Yes, entertainment consultant. Exactly. However, Dantas is now considered a fugitive after leaving Brazil during the legal proceedings. Reports state she travelled to Madrid, Spain, and her name has since been added to Brazil's National Register of Arrest Warrants. Authorities have also reportedly notified Interpol. At the time of the incident, Dantas denied abandoning the victim, writing online, "I provided all necessary assistance at the moment it happened." However, footage of the crash reportedly does not appear to show her providing help after the collision. Dantas had more than 50,000 followers before the accident and regularly posted about her businesses, fitness routine, travel, luxury meals, and social life. She was also known for keeping exotic pets, including 3 boa constrictors. Following the crash, she wrote, "What happened today was a great tragedy. Only God and my family know how my heart is." Dantas isn't the first influencer to go on the run after a motor incident. HS Tiki-Toki.
What?
Left the UK.
Is this
yes,
famous?
this is the one. Yes, HS Tiki-Toki was the one that was in the Manosphere by Louis Theroux.
Yes. I was going to say, how do I know
He
the
left
names?
the UK after crashing his $300,000 McLaren and fleeing the scene in
went to Spain.
2024, but managed to avoid jail time after he was sentenced following a year-long manhunt. There you go. And I also saw one, I can't remember who the woman was, but it was rather amusing, and I didn't get the article, but it was a TikToker who had gone into a Target and she'd stolen all this stuff. And she'd filmed herself loading her car with all this stuff from Target, in a reel, and then gone home and laid it all out nicely on her bathroom, had got the aesthetic of all these nice things that she'd stolen from Target. And then, of course, got arrested for theft, having filmed herself stealing from a Target and then putting it all out in her home. So don't do that, kids. That's a bad idea. And that's my series of stories about just social media, people making bad choices. And I'll hark back to the person who was, the policeman, I think it was, who was talking about, wouldn't it be good if you use these platforms for good, not evil?
Yeah, I mean, there is that.
With great power comes great responsibility. If you've got 1 million followers, do the right bloody thing.
Well, yes, there is that. But there's also this idea that, and they're not always, this wasn't always the case, but, certainly the girl who is live streaming, while they're filming content and doing whatever else and driving, that's quite a common thing.
Yeah.
It's like you're not allowed
I've
to.
seen it.
Yeah.
Well, I have seen it. Absolutely. In fact, there are so many people in the car doing stuff. It's not funny.
Yes.
It's whether or not they're on the side of the road or they're actually driving.
I think a lot
and
of
I
people
don't see
just
them
got good
driving
lighting
much.
or something. Yeah, they've got good lighting.
I don't know. I
really
do
common.
know that several years ago I got pretty over LinkedIn, people doing videos on LinkedIn years ago, sitting in their car talking about, how to make friends and influence people in business. I was like, oh, sorry, no.
No.
No, computer says no.
I don't like it.
Cannot.
I cannot, no. I just can't. I just can't even. That's where I'm going with that. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it hasn't raised my opinion of influencers. None of what we've spoken about tonight.
I would say there are some who are, as I say, using their platform trying to raise issues for women in domestic violence and men in domestic violence, all sorts of sort of social issues. It's just whether or not your algorithm serves them to you or you get this trash, endless, mindless trash.
I don't even watch Reels though, really.
Oh, well, you don't know what you're missing out on.
I know,
I'll start sending them to you.
Thank God. Oh, people send them to me all the time.
I don't have the time. I'm
too
busy delving into this Thai thing.
Yeah, no, you're in a community, apparently.
I'm in a community.
You're in the manosphere.
I am in a
You are in the manosphere.
I'm in a really
100%.
quite dark, corner of the manosphere is where I am.
Yeah, the deep manosphere.
So just for our listeners, if you're interested, you are a peeping Tom. Yeah. Andre Lifehack is the handle for the guy who tests all the life hacks that I was talking about before. He's quite amusing. He's harmless enough.
Yeah.
And there's a woman called Coco Larkin Cooks, and she is doing a series of French cookery. So I don't mind those because they're just like little cooking lessons. They're fantastic.
I feel like I feel like they're not influencers if you're doing cooking.
I agree. They are influencers in that they get things sent to them to showcase, like as part of how they monetize. But they're not doing stupid pranks and stuff.
My thing about influencers and my view on influencers is they're talentless people desperately trying to make money off the web, not talented people who are doing good. So, it doesn't surprise me when they've got big lips and fake boobs and
yes, I find these very odd ones. I get these people who buy these extremely luxurious looking blow up tents, and then they go and do this, say it again, ASMR, little reels where they put up these tents and they blow up and they set it all up, and they've got little open fireplace, not open, but little wood fires in the tent, and they're fantastic. But then I just saw one where the whole thing was blowing over because he hadn't staked it down. That was cracker. And then it started to caught on fire. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. So, that's the only time I've seen the reality of camping. But I get those sorts of things. I get there's some people who do them about carpet cleaning. They clearly get a carpet. I think I talked about this the other day where they filth up a carpet and then they clean it. And it's quite weird to watch.
Quite satisfying, is it?
It's satisfying to watch. I mean, that's the sort of thing, I must admit, I get a lot of cooking stuff. I get those sorts of stuff. Little bit of political things, generally American stuff, not us. Get to sentencing. What are we going to do?
Oh,
we don't like influencers.
Have no audience. Yeah. That's what they need. No one's interested. No one's watching.
No internet for 10 years.
No traction with anybody. No feedback. No views, no comments, no nothing, no interest.
No engagement.
Can we give him an anti-algorithm?
I was dancing around and couldn't get to it. Engagement was the word I was trying to get to. Thank you, darling.
Yeah.
No engagement.
Oh, God. I'm an idiot.
What did you say, Clarkie? Sorry.
Like an anti-algorithm that pulls everyone away from them, so it doesn't matter how many times they post.
They end up in some kind of internet void. Or send them to the dark web where the only people who engage with them are pedophiles and criminals.
Oh, God. And
that's pretty harsh, wasn't it?
That escalated quickly.
Lost. Trying to following other people down.
I was just doing a prank and the next thing I know I found myself in the dark web. Yeah. That'd be pretty bad.
I saw this thing the other day which I was not aware of, and it was an Australian girl who I suspect was a model, like she was stunning, and her whole premise was the fact that she had an Italian boyfriend. He was they were incredibly good looking, and they'd been at the Monaco Grand Prix, and then I sort of worked my way back from there. Anyway, she had posted a thing maybe a week or so ago where it was basically a tool that she used, that someone's created a tool, as in like an online tool, that she is able to show companies, restaurants, potential partners what sort of content she's got. So what she was saying she does is she has booked her trip to Europe, for the coming month or whatever else. And she says, kind of, this is where I'll be. If you do a deal with me, I'll come to your restaurant and eat and promote your
and I'll do something like this.
Yes, but it was so
professional.
Professional, yeah. It wasn't even professional. It was just a business. Do you know what I mean? It was the way, and because there was this sort of tool that was created, it was like it shows her engagement. It shows what it had all these metrics based on what she can get from her existing posts. And I was like, oh my God, no wonder you've got on one side, I saw the woman who has the Riverside, what's it called? The River Cafe in London. Very famous restaurant in Hammersmith, probably one of the most famous restaurants in the UK. The woman who is the chef there is actually an American, I can never remember her name, it's like Mary or Rose, or it's like an old lady's name. Anyway, she came out the other day on the internet, and I was shocked at first because you don't really see people with an honest face, wrinkles, a whole
real
bit, and real woman. And she was she did look very tired. And she was being interviewed, and I was like, my mind was going, oh gosh, that's shocking that someone looks like that online. But I think I know her. And what else? Anyway, it took me a few seconds, and that's who it was. And it was the chef and the owner of the River Cafe. Anyway, she was being interviewed, and she was being asked what she thought of influencers, and she said, I have no time. I have no time for anyone who's interested in coming to my business to take photos of my food. I just don't care for that. I don't encourage it. In fact, I push it away. And I thought, isn't it funny? So you've got one part of, like the old establishment who really want to trade on what a restaurant is and why you go there. And the younger, sort of more popular, and these people who, maybe it's there for a season going, yeah, actually, come in. We've seen your metrics and whatever else. Yes, you can come and have lunch here as long as you post this many things and do whatever else.
Yeah.
But That's a business deal. That is not going and enjoying lunch.
It is a business deal. That's how they monetize.
And one of the things that I think we, like my husband and I, have found difficult is having lived in Europe for a period of time and living there out of season, there are a whole host of places that we could go to, get into, be welcomed. No one was filming, trying to get in. It was not a scene. There wasn't like a photo opportunity, a certain part of the restaurant. That has changed so much. And now that we're traveling only in peak periods because of school holidays, it is a very ugly time. It is not. I see people turn up with trolley bags with different outfits so that they can have different looks, same area, same restaurant, whatever else, and they're getting changed. And, they've got somebody who's, sometimes it's a boyfriend, sometimes it's another girl. Sometimes there's two young girls they're both doing content. And I fucking hate it.
Hate it.
I really do, because it feels like it's incredible. And I've seen it here, actually. Between Christmas and New Year, we were at Rottnest. I may have even told you guys this story. And there's a pop-up restaurant that's there sort of each sort of summer, and it's incredible. It's a little place called The Basin, and it looks like one of the most picturesque places. And it's basically a shipping container, but it is incredible, high-quality Greek food. So it's fish. Like, it's really healthy, very fresh, quite limited menu, and cocktails, but not, a pretty, small menu. Anyway, I'd booked a table and I had my girlfriend over for Christmas and we went out there, and my eldest son. There were two girls standing next to us who were young, sort of backpacker-looking girls. One looked like she was German, the other looked like Brazilian. I was in such a good mood because we're in holidays. I was like, oh, my God, I'm so proud of Rottnest. Isn't it beautiful? I think I'll buy them their lunch. I'd had a couple of drinks. I was feeling, young girls, they were probably in their early 20s. A guy came over to them like maybe a few minutes after that, and they were just looking outside and sort of taking photos of each other, and I hadn't quite clocked what they were doing yet because they didn't look professionally set up. No one had a trolley bag with them, radio.
Or a tripod.
Anyway, then he came over and he leant towards them, and, he was the same age of these girls. Probably he was, I think, Australian. I can't remember actually, but, a traveller or some young guy with a part-time job, and he said, oh, girls, I just have to let you know that it's a requirement of dining here that you do have to order something. You do have to order some food, otherwise you'll have to move. And they were so fucking rude to him. And they had a bit of a chat to her, and then turned around and she said, well, just give us the bread. And I thought, here we go. They refused to sit at the table. Like we were right up against the view, so there was like a little wooden, like a fence, anyway, paling, whatever. So they were leaning over that. They looked out to the restaurant. They had like... their bums were just in the restaurant kind of thing. They were rude to him. More that they were rude to him to start with really annoyed me because he was so polite to them and he was embarrassed and he had to go over. They got the bread. They didn't eat it. They continued to take photos of each other, and the guy was getting, quite uncomfortable kind of thing. They had ordered a drink because the drink looked good in the photos, remember? So they've got the Aperol Spritz, whatever else. And then when it came time to leave, the girl wrapped the bread up in a serviette and threw it in her bag and sort of sighed as they went to pay kind of thing. And I thought, you little bitches. I would have really happily bought them lunch if they were engaged in the whole experience, but it wasn't. It was a photo op and only the photo op. And again, I could have probably they could have got away with that with me, but the way they spoke to someone their own age who was so incredibly polite and uncomfortable about having to do it, I was like, nah.
Go and buy him lunch.
This is ugly. This is ugly.
Yeah, it's that sense of entitlement.
Yes.
I did see a reel of an old lady eating a sausage roll, and it said point of, how they did POV's point of views. And it was something like when an influencer asked us to give them $2,000 to eat one of our sausage rolls, so we thought we'd just eat it ourselves. And I liked that because I thought, absolutely, right, fair enough. And then someone in the comments said, yeah, you're supposed to run your finger along the back of it and tap it, and then you really are doing the right thing. From the
to get there.
God. It's insidious, and it's just an ugly phase of our society currently. Hopefully it goes out of fashion soon.
Hopefully it swings so far. There's nothing left to see because they've just,
we used to complain about hordes of tourists coming in and just taking photos and then leaving and not really appreciating the beauty of a space.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, but then every now and then one of them goes on some beautiful rocks on the beach and then gets washed off and drowned.
Yeah.
So, there's a bit of Darwin Awards stuff happening too for people who are going for that perfect moment, that perfect pic, and they're getting eaten by a bear because they weren't paying attention to their surroundings,
Everything becomes so oversaturated as well. Like, I mean, from our childhood, when someone went overseas, I mean, yes, within Australia, but certainly if someone went overseas and you got a postcard, it was the most incredible experience to get that postcard, right? Then we go on to, getting a bit older, maybe someone sent you a letter or whatever else, a postcard, you saw some photos, whatever else.
It was meaningful.
Then we tried to, now, before you've gone pretty much everywhere, it is so overshared, oversaturated. We've kind of settled, and I really feel, I often talk to you guys about my my Disneyland experience, which was growing up, Disney was in my imagination because I didn't have it as a tangible thing so much as I could watch the Mickey Mouse show at the beginning of a movie where it showed the castle. I loved that sort of intro. All that, and then it was gone. I didn't have anything more than that. By the time I actually got to Disneyland, I was still in my 20s, and it was still, I had enough left in my imagination. By the time I took my own kids there, every time they wanted a movie or whatever else, they could access it through their iPad or the TV. There was, all the treats were with McDonald's meals. It was so available to them in a way that everybody could get. They never felt about Disneyland the way I thought Disneyland was a magic place as a child.
Special.
So many things have become so available, whether it be food, Disney, all these things. It's like, where do you get that want or that thing in your mind where you think, oh gosh, wouldn't it be amazing to see the Eiffel Tower? Or because so much of it was still in a movie or in your imagination, that kind of thing.
Thinking maybe I just sell my house and we get a caravan and we live like grey nomads and film it and become social content creators. Yeah. Then I think I couldn't be fucked.
I'm
not going to do that.
You have to create the content, apparently.
All the time.
All about constantly being able to give people what they want.
Correct. Correct. And I'm like, oh, no, I mean, it's just bad enough that we do one episode of this a week. It nearly kills me to get this out. Could you imagine doing 3 reels a day?
Oh.
I mean, it would be your full-time job, but it wouldn't be fun.
No, I don't think
because you just, just couldn't. Oh, it might have just end up being me and Tony arguing. That'd be our reels.
Which would probably get people's attention and make you lots of money.
Probably would.
I'd get the views, so it wouldn't be very good for us, I don't think. No. All right. So any sentencing?
Well, I don't like this. You mentioned entitled before, and I think that's right. I also think there's a whole lot of disrespect and almost a whole lot of lawlessness that comes in. I can't remember what it was. I was just having fun.
I was just having fun.
You
I was
probably
breaking
scared
and entering
the crap out of somebody. Yeah, exactly right. You're invading someone's safe space, all that sort of stuff.
So lucky you didn't get belted over the head with a baseball bat. Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
And then the homeowner would be held accountable to that too.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but what if you could send them back to days when corporal punishment was more acceptable? And so, these people just got, like those girls in the restaurant, just getting absolutely rough and toughed out of there. Get out, you fucking scrags. Something that really makes them go, oh my God, that was over the top, because they're so used to getting away with that.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah. And the more they did it, the worse it got. The fact that that little kid could have got whacked with a baseball bat. Oh, well, mate, don't fucking do it next time.
You get what you get and you don't get upset. Yeah. I have, as you know, a couple of friends who are ex-policemen. And before, to your point about the time that corporal punishment was more acceptable, they used to, when they had a kid acting up, a young person, they'd give them a clip over the head and scare them. Chuck them in a divvy and scare them. And lo and behold, those kids generally didn't reoffend because they got such a fright. But nowadays, obviously, you're not allowed to do any of those things. There's no fright. There's no consequence. And that's what concerns me. It's not just the platforms that exist that are giving them these ideas and whatever. It's also like you see people posting videos of their children which they think are funny, and the kids are swearing at the mother, or being disrespectful. And it's like, this is not stuff that we should be encouraging. This is not the influence that you want to have on the world. This is not the direction we should be going in. So I'm very much agreeing with that fellow who said, imagine if you did something good with this, what you could achieve. So, I'm quite happy for us to send them back into happy slappy time where they get a whack.
Yeah.
And those 2 girls should have been thrown in a divvy van for wasting restaurants' time and being rude to that young man.
Because they used to, you didn't have seatbelts in the back, and then they used to do, donuts and sharp driving and just knock you around a bit in the back of the divvy van. Good, you can come out with a few bruises.
Good old
A few
phone
life
book.
lessons about where it's important to show some respect for some people. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not all about you
Agreed.
and your followers.
And then if they still misbehave, they get Swanee's treatment where the engagement is removed from them. And if they're really still naughty, then they go to the dark web where I send them. There you go.
Oy, look out.
3 levels.
Three
Yeah.
strikes.
Yeah. That's it. And you're in the
First
dark web.
strike, second strike, third strike. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me on that rather big conversation about the weirdo world that we're in and me being able to completely immerse myself in it for the better part of the last 6 weeks.
Wow.
Hopefully you'll
Look at
get
what
out of
it's
it soon
done
enough.
too.
Oh, yeah, no,
6
I'm able
weeks
to
well
move now, so
invested.
I'll be cleaning the house and doing my gardening soon and doing stuff I much prefer. But I got a few good inspos. So while I was there, got a few gardening tips and tricks and stuff. So that's nice. So anyway, as we say every week, miss you already.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Trial by Wine. You can contact us at trialbywine@gmail.com. Please rate, review and subscribe to Trial by Wine on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to support us, you can become a patron at www.patreon.com, Trial by Wine, or visit our website www.trialbywine.com to donate to us. Your support will help us cover many more cases and apply wacky sentences. We really appreciate you listening and hope you tell everyone about us. Our cover art is by John Christo and music is by Beauchamp from pixabay.com.